Alright everyone, welcome back to BTD6 and Mega Military. So, we've completed hard mode, and at special request of one of you, I'm going to be going through medium mode and showing you guys how I can get through it. Alright, so let's just jump straight into this. You get a lot more option in medium mode, in terms of heroes, in terms of towers you can pick. It's often quite nice. We don't need any powers, so we'll just leave those alone. As for heroes, I'm going to choose Quincy just because everybody has Quincy unlocked, so it'll be easy to give a show through for that. But if it were up to me, Gwendolyn is a lot stronger than Quincy, Oban is a lot stronger than Quincy, and Adora is a lot stronger than Quincy as well, so keep those towers in mind. And let's have a look at what we can do here. I think we're going to go for a similar strategy as we did for the hard mode. So we'll give ourselves maybe one Dartling Gun will do, because we only really used one. We'll throw in a village. Villages are always nice. We'll throw in a glue gunner as well. Glue gunners are quite handy. Maybe even a super monkey. Yeah, super monkey would help out quite a bit. And then we'll get a plane or two, and then what else do we need really? We'll get a couple of alchemists just in case, and maybe some engineer monkeys. Okay, so this is what I'm going to be using for the medium difficulty. 3 boats and subs, 1 Dartling Gun, 1 village, 1 glue gunner, 1 super monkey, 2 aces, 2 alchemists, and 2 engineers alongside Quincy. So this is what I'm going to be using to get through this. Hopefully you guys can either use the same thing and follow what I do, or use your own sort of strategy and use this as a sort of guide to just give you an idea rather than flat outright tell you. So we're going to start off by placing Quincy, and away we go. Alright, and then I think we're going to go on next with a Buccaneer. Oh, actually, I will also turn off my monkey knowledge for this, just to make it a little more viable for everyone. So there we go, monkey knowledge turned off. Go back into it. And we'll even restart just to make sure. Oh wait, it already restarted for me. Perfect. Okay, so there we go. Quincy first, and we can't buy us a boat. That's why I turned off my monkey knowledge. I thought it would be a little bit too helpful, so there you go. Quincy should be able to take on a few of these rounds by himself, which is why he's such a great hero. But yes, we will be aiming to put up a boat next. Alright, a couple of lives lost, but nothing too dramatic. We can get through it. Plus, now that Quincy's at level 2, base attack bounces up to 4 targets. That's going to help us out so much with dealing with these early rounds. So it shouldn't be too much of a loss to lose 5 lives right now. I think it should be quite fine. So, if you didn't watch my hard mode for this game, essentially every single map we tried to get merchantmen so that we could get extra money, which was especially helpful in Apocalypse mode for the second map. And so we're going to be trying to do that again. It should be a lot easier this time because you don't have to go as high of a round as you normally would for hard mode. And the towers should be a little bit cheaper because we'll be playing on some easier difficulties than what we are used to. So this is a military only map, and I highly recommend choosing boats because boats can pop both camos and lead balloons if you choose the bottom 2 pathways. It doesn't matter what you choose, if you go like to the full middle pathway or if you're going to the merchantmen like I am. So long as you have two upgrades in both of these, then you will be able to pop camos and leads, which are extremely useful for us. Alright, so let's get this grape shot up and running. Then once we get that up and running, we can get the hot shot afterwards, which I think might actually be cheaper than grape shot, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's $50 cheaper. which is quite nice. And then once we get that, we can save up enough money to get the Merchantman upgrade. Because if you don't know, a Hotshot and Crow's Nest Buccaneer is a force to be reckoned with. And just look at his range already. Like, this is without monkey knowledge, and his range is quite huge. He can see a massive area of the map, which is just insanely helpful. And there's our Hotshot. Quincy has gotten to level 4, so he can see a little bit further, but when he gets to level 5, he can see camo balloons, so that's going to be extraordinarily helpful. Although, either way, we already had Crow's Nest, so our boat could have popped camo balloons if Quincy wasn't a high enough level for it. But he will be soon. I must admit, I'm not used to doing things on the medium difficulty. Like, I usually do it on hard, just so that everybody can kind of like follow through with what I do. Well, at least for the most part. And so that we can all maximize our trophies. Because if you didn't know, you don't get trophies for completing each version of the Odyssey. You only get trophies for completing the first version that you do. So for example, if you do the easy mode, you'll only get, well, I don't actually know how many trophies it is, but I think you'll only get like 10, maybe 20 trophies first. So if you do the easy mode first, you'll get like 10, 20 trophies or whatever. But then after that, you can't get any trophies from doing medium and hard mode. And so, the best strategy is to start off doing hard mode, and then if you really want the extra monkey money, you can go back and do easy and medium mode. Because hard mode gives you the most trophies, and it's the most valuable reward, in my opinion. Alright, so we're pretty close to getting our Merchantman. This boat is holding off quite well against all of these balloons, holding them back, kicking their butts. We have unlocked Quincy's first ability, which means he can shoot rapidly over the course of a few seconds if he needs to, but I think at the moment we're doing quite well on our own. We're going to get this Merchantman upgrade soon. There we go. Always good to get it during a round so that you can get the bonus 200 cash at the end of the round should you need it. And now I think we're going to get another one, but we're going to put the boat up here so that there's a boat attacking at the very bottom and there's a boat attacking at the very top, so that there's extra damage on either side. I think that would be extraordinarily helpful for us. I'd say the best upgrade for the boat would be going for Grape Shot and Hot Shot, to be honest. Like, no matter what path you cross this with, bottom or top, or even if you just go fully down the middle, this is an amazing upgrade path. It deals so much damage just with the Grape Shot and Hot Shot alone. Alright, we're saving up for our second Merchantman. We do have 3 boats this time. In the hard mode, I could only put 2 of them in before we ran out of space in the crew. But this time we do get 3 instead of 2, which is quite nice. Because having 3 Merchantmen can be so much more effective than just having 2 of them. And you will see that soon enough. Alright, so here comes our first leads. Quincy can't yet pop leads. He fires an exploding arrow every 3rd shot at level 7. He's currently at level 6. But this is the upgrade that allows him to pop leads. Every 3rd arrow will deal damage to the lead balloons. But our boats with the Hot Shot have got it covered so far. So there you go, there's our second Merchantman. And then we can work on placing and buying our 3rd one, which should be a lot easier now considering we've already bought 2. So we'll put this guy right in the middle between the other 2, so that all aspects of this circle are covered completely, start, middle, end, always getting shot with either grape shots or hot shots, which should work wonders. Alright, there's our hot shots. So Now we need to get one more merchantman, which shouldn't be too hard because we're making $400 extra at the end of the round, which means we're making 500 total, just because you get 100 for completing each round. And so we should be able to get the next merchantman in a couple of rounds, actually. Alright, round 34 seems to be going quite nicely for us. No troubles just yet, but we will need some more damage up soon. As great as merchantmen and hotshot are, they are not the most damaging towers in the game. And so we will need to buy a sub or something along those lines next. So, I think, if you didn't know, you can clear out this area of the map to reveal some more water. So I think we're going to place a sub back here to help us out. It may not look like it'll help out until we get the advanced intel, which is exactly what we're looking for. So if we get advanced intel, the sub can now shoot this entire circle because of all the merchantmen that we've placed. We'll get twin guns and airburst darts, which should help us out in terms of keeping this wave of balloons back, or keeping them at bay, I should say. Get the triple guns. Alright, now we're doing it. Now we're cooking with gas. Alright, let's get the monkey ace out. And for Moab damage, you could buy the armor piercing darts, which is... It's not too expensive for a 4th tier upgrade, but it can be quite pricey. And so if you can't afford that in time, you might be able to afford going for rapid fire, lots more darts, and then fighter plane. It is a little bit cheaper, and fighter plane does specialize in launching anti-Moab bombs at the Moabs when they show up on screen. So you'll be able to see that soon. This plane will start launching little bombs at the next round. So there you go, and then there they go. Couple missiles, and the Moab's down. And we should be able to handle the rest fairly easily. There we go. Alright, so then you can also use armor piercing darts, which deal extra damage to Moabs. But I thought I'd just showcase that if you don't have enough money, you can always get the fighter plane for the monkey ace. Next upgrade is going to be our Operation Dartstorm. Absolutely floods the map with more darts, and then we'll go for Exploding Pineapple and Spy Plane so that we can pop camo balloons with our monkey ace. Alright. So next, I think we'll get another sub back here alongside the first one. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go down triple guns upgrade path and then get armor piercing darts, and hopefully that'll do the trick. Okay, we've almost got it afforded, and there we go, perfect. So now any mob that comes through had better be quite scared, because we're going to do some massive damage. Alright, let's get ourselves one more sub, try and tuck him in here, get him nice and buried in there. And then, once we get this guy to armor-piercing darts, then we can put a plane near the start of the map, and you'll see why very soon. Okay, so we've almost got the armor-piercing darts. One more round should do it. Come on. Just a little bit more cash. And yeah, that'll do it. We can get it at the end of this round. Alright, there we go. Another armor-piercing darts sub. Subs are incredibly strong, so I'd highly recommend you get one as soon as you can. But we are now going to place a plane right here, so that the subs can start shooting at these balloons a lot earlier. So we'll just get something like a never miss targeting plane. We won't be able to afford a Spectre, but never miss targeting is actually really good. So that's fine. And if you've got the Dartling gun, you can just throw it down anywhere you like and start aiming. I personally like to go for the middle path crossed with the top path. Deals quite a lot of damage and can pop camo and lead balloons if you get that fourth upgrade. No, third upgrade, my bad. Third upgrade for the middle path. Alright, but as you can see, Moabs are getting destroyed. We should have no problem with the rest of this map at all. So once we get these Hydra rocket pods, just to be extra safe, we really should just be able to jump straight to the finish line. So we'll lock this guy on to roughly around there so that he's aiming at the first part of the map. And then I think we're good to go. So I'm pretty sure this strategy can keep us going until round 60. If it can't, I will come back and let you guys know, but I will see you guys at round 60 otherwise. Alright, so this is round 59. We should get through it without any problems. Camo leads cannot stand up against our Dartling gun. And even if we didn't have the Dartling gun, we had our merchantmen. Alright, so this is round 60. We don't need to use either of our abilities here. I think we've got this covered. And there we go. Island 1 complete. We're going to get through all 4 of them in this one video, just because medium difficulty is only 4 maps. And I think it should be quite easy enough for us to fly through these. Apocalypse mode logs. Ever-increasing balloon waves, no breaks at the end of each round. How far can you get? Saved games will start as soon as you select play. There we go. Selected play, and put down Quincy right here. I think that'll be the best spot for him. Alright, so for logs, it's a very easy map, not gonna lie. But Apocalypse mode can bring some problems, because no matter if you have auto start on or off, the balloons will just keep flowing through and there won't be any end of round bonus cash, which is a massive shame. But luckily we do have some engineers with us, and they will be able to help us pop quite a few of these balloons with gusto. So we're going to put an engineer here, and we're going to go for a bottom path main. I don't know how to say it really. We're going to mainly go for the bottom path, but then we'll put some points into probably the top path just for extra popping power. Oh, maybe we should go middle path instead for deconstruction. Alright, so we're going to go mainly the bottom path, but then we'll also get larger surface area and deconstruction so that we get a lot more range on our engineer monkeys. Alright, so Quincy seems to be able to handle himself for now, and now that he can triple his attack speed for a short time with his first ability, we should be perfectly fine cruising through the rest of these rounds with minimal effort. Alright, so Quincy's basically our frontline defense here, and then our boy Engineer Monkey over here is going to be our backup. So when it comes to Apocalypse mode, it is nice to have some extra cash, but I'm gonna try and complete this without making any extra money, just to show you guys that it is possible. If you are not a fan of getting merchantmen, or if maybe you didn't pick boats as one of your options, or if you don't have your banana farms either, considering it's medium difficulty. So I'm gonna try my best to do this without any extra cash, just to show you that it is in fact possible to do so. Alright, so Quincy seems to have the front part covered quite nicely. We're going to go for oversized nails here, and then pin. Pin is what you want. Pin is one of the best upgrades, in my opinion, for the Engineer Monkey, because it pins balloons in place for a short time when they get shot by the Engineer Monkey. Which means if the Engineer Monkey is continuously shooting at the same balloon, it'll be stuck in place, which is quite amazing of an upgrade, if you ask me. Okay, so we're pretty close to getting pinned, and then we can relax for a bit because it means all of these balloons are just going to sit right in front of Quincy for him to continue popping, which is going to be amazing. So as you can see, it pins some of the balloons in place so that they can easily be finished off. Alright, so now if we go for double gun's going to increase the popping power of our engineer monkey by a lot. So we're going to be going for that first before we go for deconstruction, because the first Moab shows up on round 41, I believe, and that's quite a while away, so we don't need to buy that just yet. So we'll save up for our double guns, which should be here momentarily. There they go. And now our engineer monkey is a force to be reckoned with. Look at him go. It's just going to keep everything in place, not let anything through. And then we can get deconstruction and then just leave that monkey alone. We don't need to upgrade the engineer monkey any further than a 023, because a 023 is a lot of damage already. Alright, so now that we've got a decent amount of damage coming in with our engineer monkey, we want to try and get maybe a submarine. A submarine would be really helpful here, just to make sure everything is decamoed and destroyed as soon as possible. So let's have a look here. Quincy can't pop leads, and neither can the engineer monkey at the start. So maybe instead of a sub, we should go for something else instead, like maybe an alchemist. Because if you don't know, the alchemist can buff other towers, and one of the first upgrades it gets is it allows a tower to pop lead balloons. So I think we'll want to give that to Quincy, allow him to pop lead balloons, because he's about to gain camo detection, so he won't need that, but he will need to pop lead balloons. So we'll give that to him first before we go for our submarine, and then we can relax and just get that submarine's upgrades and take our time. Alright, so let's get the alchemist out as soon as possible. And by the way, the alchemist itself can pop lead balloons, so if you can't afford the upgrade to allow it to buff Quincy, don't worry, the alchemist himself can pop lead balloons. So if you ever are worried, like I might be for this round, just set him on strong, and then he will target lead balloons as soon as they come in, because at that point in time they are the strongest balloon. Alright, so then once we get acidic mixture dip, throws a potion at monkeys allowing them to pop lead balloons, do extra damage to ceramic and Moab class balloons, wears off quickly though. So you need to keep that in mind, but essentially this will allow Quincy to pop lead balloons without needing his level 7 upgrade, which will be quite nice. Alright, so once we get this, he can pop leads, and then once he levels up one more time, he can pop camos, so he's got everything covered, and we should be fairly well off. There you go. And now we can work on getting our submarine. Now for our sub, we are going for a plutonium reactor, so we do want him to cover a good section of the map. So if we put him, we don't want to put him anywhere near where he could steal Quincy's buff. As you can see, it's showing up above his head. So we don't want to put him anywhere near there, so maybe we'll put him right in the middle, just so that he's got all sides covered, and that's a pretty massive area for him to be dealing damage in. So that'll be quite nice as well. But you do have to remember he will be submerged, so he won't be able to shoot like he normally will. He's just going to be dealing damage via radiation all around him. But there you go. Get that advanced intel, which usually would be an amazing upgrade, but in this case we're just using it to get to the next few upgrades, so it's not going to be too amazing. But we will get submergent support fairly soon, which means camo detection is pretty much permanent. So now any camo balloons that enter this area will be decamo-fied, or however you want to call it. And so everyone will be able to see them again, which will be quite nice. And then once we get our plutonium reactor, this will actually pop balloons while it's submerged, which is going to be an amazing tower. Honestly, it's one of my favorite subs, aside from going for the main bottom path along with the top path. You pretty much have to cross the top path with the sub. Like, they have made some of these upgrades, like this one, enhances ballistic missile and plutonium reactor. They've made it like this so that you are kind of thinking, oh, maybe I should go for the middle path or the bottom or the instead of the top path as a cross path, but it's really not necessary. You just go for the top path. It's always going to be the better option. Alright. So we're a little bit off in terms of being able to afford the plutonium reactor, but that's quite alright. That's quite alright indeed. We're almost around halfway, which is good. And there we go, now we're halfway. But yes, I really think this game should add another water tower in. Like, we've only got the Buccaneer and the sub. There's no pure water tower that's still in this game, if you know what I mean. Oh, that looks quite tricky. Okay, so that's fine, because if we back out, we can come back in, and it did say saved games start as soon as we hit play, as the little note at the bottom here. Saved games will start as soon as you hit play, so you hit play, and then the game will start up immediately. So, let's see what we can do here. We let them pop the leads. These are the problem. The regrow zebras are the issue here, so we need to use Quincy's ability, get him to pop as many of those as possible so that our gunner here can help out as well. And I'm not too sure if we've managed to deal enough damage there. I do not think we have. Okay, so we might need a different strategy for this part. So let's back out and reassess what we've got going on. So it is my personal opinion that Alchemist is kind of weak in this situation. Don't get me wrong, he's helping out a little bit, but overall I think he's more of a hindrance, so we'll sell him so that we can get our plutonium reactor a lot earlier. We'll use Quincy's ability, buy the plutonium reactor, and I think that should just about cover us for this round. Okay. So now that that's sorted, I think we can get ourselves something with a little more damage behind it. Well, we already did get our plutonium reactor, which is insanely good at damaging. But let's get our alchemist back, but put him a little bit closer to the sub so that he can buff that as well. Because as of right now, the sub's probably our best tower on the field, so we'll want to make sure that both of those are getting appropriately buffed. There we go. So he is actually aiming for it. Okay, so just remember that even if it's apocalypse mode, so long as it's not chimps mode, you can always sell your towers and try a different strategy. And I would highly recommend it, because sometimes situations like this require it. Okay, so we will get ourselves the Berserker Brew, which will increase the damage of both Quincy and the plutonium reactor, respectively, and then we'll also get faster throwing alongside it. So yeah, just always keep that in mind. Like, even if you think you've got a really good setup and you want to try and get through the wave with it, sometimes it just won't work, and that's fine. It doesn't need to work every single time. You just need to make sure that your next strategy is better, and if you need to sell a few towers to make sure that's the case, then by all means do it. It's always good to keep in mind that you can sell towers in this game, because sometimes getting that little bit of extra money can get you a tower that will absolutely destroy the wave you got stuck on. So just always keep that in mind. Of course, it doesn't apply to chimps mode, because chimps mode doesn't let you sell towers, but at least in this game mode Apocalypse, you can sell towers, and you can absolutely abuse the hell out of that. Alright. So we'll get ourselves the stronger stimulant, which is going to be quite helpful for us, because it'll make them even stronger. And this plutonium reactor is doing quite nicely in its job of absolutely destroying these balloons. Alright. So now, what else can we get to help us out here? We have picked a super monkey, so that could be an option. But we do also have a glue gunner, which could help slow things down a little if we need it. I don't think we will, but just in case, we could use it. We do also have a Dartling gun, which I'm going to try not to use too much because not everybody has the Dartling gun unlocked just yet. So maybe we'll go for the Super Monkey. I think that might be the ideal play here. Oh, actually, Buccaneers are quite cheap. So we'll go for a boat instead if we can fit one in. Yes, there we go. So if we're not aiming to make money this game, so we're going to cross path with the middle and go for a destroyer, because this will deal a lot more damage than the bottom path will. It already got double shot, so the hot shot that it usually shoots out will now shoot out a lot more of it, and once we get the destroyer, it'll attack super fast and will be amazing. Alright, so let's get this destroyer as soon as possible, round about now. There we go. We don't want to get aircraft carrier because I feel like that somehow weakens this guy. I'm not sure how, but I feel like it weakens him a little bit, which kind of sucks. So we're not going to get that just yet, but there we go. We do have a good setup here. And we'll get an engineer monkey. Whoa, what? We'll get an engineer monkey around here, just as a little bit of extra damage, and we'll do the middle path with the cleansing foam, just because the cleansing foam, I believe, can remove camo from a balloon, and what else can it do? Can remove camo and regrow and pop leads. So there you go. We'll do that, and then we'll get ourselves some turrets, which will be quite handy as well for extra damage. Alright. I think we're looking quite well off here. Maybe we should get a glue gunner. Put him around somewhere. We're not thinking about anything fancy in terms of glue gunner. We will just get a glue hose, just because it is insanely good at gluing pretty much everything that it sees. And then once we get the glue hose, we'll go for 2 at the top as well, just to make sure that it does a little bit of damage at the very least. Alright, so we seem to be able to take out these leads quite nicely, either with the alchemist throwing things at it, or Quincy popping it with his explosive shot, or even just the white goo from the engineer monkey. Alright, so we'll get glue soak and corrosive glue. So if any regular balloons make it up till this point, they will be slowed down immensely, and then they have to go through the plutonium reactor. And if we get twin guns and airburst darts, it'll make that even stronger damage. So I think we've probably got this map covered, but just in case, keep going. On Apocalypse mode, never stop. Just always keep placing things and going for as much damage as you can find, because you don't want to get caught with your pants down when you're playing on Apocalypse mode. Alright, so we get our camo detection, middle path, cross path, and then we will go for Operation Dartstorm, which is going to be a lot more helpful in terms of popping Moabs. So now, while we've still got the money, we'll place a Super Monkey just to deal a lot more damage to all of our balloons and all of their problems. We'll get laser blasts, and you know what? He's in a good enough position. I think we'll cross path it with the bottom instead of the middle. Usually I would go for the middle and then just put a village next to him, but to be honest, he's got a pretty good range already, and that's what I was mainly worried about. So I think we'll just take him down the bottom path so that he can see camo balloons, and then we'll get the plasma blasts so that he's pretty strong. Alright, so we do have a BFB on the way. Do have to keep this in mind, but it seems like we can take out pretty much everything, and thanks to the glue gunner, everything's going through that damage over time plutonium reactor very slowly. Alright, let's get the plasma blasts, which should help out quite a lot. And then it's up to you from this point. You can either go for the cheap Dark Knight, which will deal a lot more damage to Moabs, but not a lot to the everything else. Or you can go for the Sun Avatar. It's like 4 times the price, but it is insanely strong. So keep that. Never mind, we win. I thought that would have gone on for a lot longer, but apparently not. Alright, let's move on to the next map then. What map is this again? I forget. What's it called? What is this map called? Park Path. Who doesn't love a good park path? Alright, so let's set up our Quincy around here. I think that's a good spot. And let's go to 80. Alright. Let's start things off. Now, Apocalypse is usually the hardest one that people have been complaining about in terms of this Odyssey. It is quite difficult facing waves that you are not aware of, like leads coming sooner than expected, the first BFB coming on 55 instead of 60. Things like that just kind of throw you off and make you not really want to play through it, but you can do it. You just need to prepare ahead of time, and like I said, if you can get the merchantmen, then that'll help you out a lot more, but obviously last game we didn't, so it is possible to do so without it anyway. You might just have to do a bit of selling if you come up against something like regrow zebras a lot earlier than you'd expect. But we managed it, we got through it, easily enough, and onto Park Path now, which is just a regular military only, get to wave 80, so it shouldn't be too difficult for you guys. Honestly, I feel like once you get past Apocalypse mode, the rest of the Odyssey isn't too difficult. Apocalypse is the real pain here out of all of these game modes. And to think that on hard mode we had to go for Apocalypse to round 90 instead of round 60. That's 30 more rounds, which is just crazy. You would not be able to do that without a 5th tier at least, in my opinion. But we seem to be doing quite well so far. No more Apocalypse waves, so we've just got auto start on, which is controlling this. I'm not like, I'm not still on Apocalypse, I've just got auto start on, so it's just sending wave after wave. But don't get me wrong, we are still making money at the end of each level. Alright, so let's get ourselves this amazing grape shot when we can afford it. Oh, we're so close. And Quincy, go! There we go. Just making sure he can clear that out quickly, rather than having to rely on the boat. And that's our grape shot done. We're just looking for hot shot, and then we can go for our merchantman upgrade and go for our usual path. Alright, so clean out these green balloons. Blue balloons go down just as easy. Yellow balloons come out of nowhere, but that's fine. Alright, just about to get this hot shot. Honestly, if you do have the Dartling Gunner unlocked, it is amazing to start off with if you can help it. So if you've got any monkey knowledge into the military line, you'll want to get the ones that make the military monkeys cost a lot less, or at least your first one. That way you can put a Dartling Gunner down straight away, pop all these balloons really quickly, and then it'll just make the rounds go by a lot faster. But in the meantime, we're just saving up for merchantmen. I'm not going to buy anything else, I'm not going to do anything else. So I will see you guys when we can afford it. Alright, now we've almost got enough money for our merchantmen. As you can see, our boat and Quincy have been handling everything quite nicely here. So there's the first merchantman, and now we should aim for our second one. Oh, maybe that's a little bit greedy. You know what? We won't. We will go for our monkey sub instead to make sure that we can take these balloons out nice and quickly. So we'll get advanced intel so that we can see the entire map, basically. And then we will put our second monkey Buccaneer around this area so that it can see the start of the map, and then so can our submarine, which will be quite nice. Alright, so let's get that longer range, help him see a little bit more. And then the crow's nest. Honestly, just making extra money in this game, if possible, is so helpful. It's honestly insanely good. So as you can see, our sub can now see up here because our Buccaneer can. So we'll get twin guns to make him pop a little bit faster. Alright, let's get that grape shot up, just because it's amazing damage. And there we go. Now, admittedly, this guy can't pop leads, and neither can the sub, but this one here can, because he's got hotshot unlocked. So we'll get hotshot for this guy. That'll be much better. And then we'll get merchantman, and then we should be swimming in money. By any luck. Alright, so now we can pop the leads with the first guy. And we should be chilling right about now. Alright, so let's get this merchantman soon. And then we will probably get a Spectre to carry us through the rest of the rounds. Because if you don't know, Spectres are amazing in terms of damage, and I'm pretty sure they could take us straight to round 80 if we got one. So let's get our second merchantman up. Should we go for a third one? I think we should. Let's go for one more merchantman, just to be extra greedy, and just to guarantee the win, essentially. So we'll get our third merchantman. It's gonna take a little while, but I think the first two that we have can fend off most of the waves, so we can save straight up for merchantman and then get grape shot and hot shot later, because I think these two can handle themselves quite nicely now. So we're gonna go straight for merchantman to save a bit of money and see how well we can do with that. Alright, so we're just about there. At the end of this round we should have enough. Oh, never mind, during the round. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so now we can buy grape shot and a hot shot just like we would have before. There we go. Except now we've got 3 merchantmen instead of 2. So we should be quite good. So we're going to get airburst darts, as well as triple guns, and as well as armor piercing darts. Just because these are going to be extremely effective against the Moab on round 40. So once we get enough for these triple guns, we can get the armor piercing darts, and these will absolutely destroy the Moab. 100% guaranteed. Alright. So here we go, we're almost there. At the end of this round we should have it, if not during this round. And there we go. Alright, armor piercing darts just before round 40. We're cutting a little close, but what the hell, we managed it anyway. So next we will aim for our Spectre, which should pretty much finish off the game for us. So we're going to cross-path it with the middle, so that we can defeat round 78 with little difficulty. And then we'll go at the bottom to get never miss targeting, and finally our Spectre. Alright, get that never miss targeting. Okay, so Spectre costs 24,000, but I think with our current defense we can start saving up now. So I'll see you guys when we can afford the Spectre, or if we run into any difficulties along the way. Alright, we've just about afforded that Spectre. 24,000, we're almost there. We've had no problems getting through the rest of these rounds. So let's buy this Spectre, and this should absolutely destroy the rest of the game. So, if it does, I will see you at round 80. If we have any troubles, I will see you before then. Alright, this is the end of round 79. As you can see, I've bought nothing else. I've got 77,000 waiting for me. And we're just about to win this, because round 80 is going to be even easier than this. But if you are feeling like you're not safe against round 80, you can always place more subs, a Dartling Gunner, or a Monkey Ace, for example. If you don't feel like you can beat this ZOMG, but it seems to be cracking pretty quickly, you can always get another Spectre just to help you out. Dual wield them, and you've still got 50,000 left over, so really this should be a fairly easy map to get through, as you can see. Alright, last map. Let's get straight into it. Alright, now this map we only have to get to 60 on, so it shouldn't be too difficult. And we are going to place Quincy in a bit of a weird spot at first, because he can't see through this, but we will remove it as soon as possible. Sorry, I don't know why, I'm very, very burpy today. So I apologize if my speech is a little bit, my speech pattern is a bit weird, because it's just got a lot of gas in me. But yes, so we should be able to save up enough money to remove this, and Quincy should be able to handle these guys until then, so we should be alright. Yeah, so we put Quincy here just because once we remove this he can see all the way up to here and around here, which gives him this whole area to just rapid fire shoot down, which I think is going to be amazing for us. Now we might lose a couple lives here. Oh no, we're alright. I was going to say we might lose a couple lives there because of the blue balloons, but we seem to be doing fine. And now we can officially remove this to reveal water. There you go. So now we can start working on our Buccaneers and doing our usual strategy. Alright, so Quincy's just going to level himself up, getting better over time, so we don't have to worry about him. I wouldn't recommend paying to unlock later levels, and I definitely don't recommend hitting this button, because this is pay with real money. But yeah, definitely don't recommend paying to... Wait, is this paying with real money? No, it's paying with monkey money. So if you really want to boost him to level 10 immediately, you can, but I wouldn't recommend it. Oh, and that actually stops the round when you do that. Interesting. But yeah, wouldn't recommend it. Only spend money on your hero if you really, really have to. If not though, just leave him, let him level himself up. It'll cost you nothing, you only have to place him once, and he's going to be an amazing tower for you in the meantime anyway. So, I think what we're going to aim for here is a plutonium reactor sub, but obviously we can't get that immediately, but we can get advanced intel, which is going to help out quite a bit in the meantime. And then once we are ready, we can submerge and support and get the plutonium reactor. Just because that's going to deal a massive amount of damage, because look how much of the map it occupies. Starts here. It's going to hit and burn the balloons until it gets to here. They will not have enough time, if they are regrow balloons, to regrow back. Then they'll get hit again, and then pretty much consistently keep getting hit until they get here. Which is going to be in a crazy amount of damage for a plutonium reactor to do. So, here's my advice. While it's still the early game, you want to buy this upgrade, but take him out of submerge so that he can still attack. Because as of right now, his submerge mode does not deal any damage. You want to save up for that plutonium reactor and keep this guy out of the water so that he can still pop some balloons in the meantime. Right, then once you get the plutonium reactor, you can resubmerge him, because that's when he'll deal a lot more damage in that mode. Alright, but we seem to be doing quite well. The submarine is definitely going to be helping out here, at least a little bit. There you go. Takes out any balloons that come too close, as well as within Quincy's range. So we're pretty much set up for a win here. And the plutonium reactor is around halfway done. So I'm thinking we should be able to get this before round 20, if we're lucky. If not, we might get it on round 20 or around round 21 or something. Oh no, we let one through, but that's alright. We've only let 5 lives worth of balloons through so far, and we're on the last map, so we can happily lose one more. It shouldn't affect us too badly. We just need to get this plutonium reactor as soon as possible. Ooh, we might lose a few more lives here, actually. Yes, we do. Okay, so we've lost 10 lives in total throughout this Odyssey, and if we had this guy submerged, we'd lose a lot more, because he wouldn't be attacking when he was submerged. But once we get this plutonium reactor, ooh, things are going to change big time. You watch, nothing will get past us once we get this plutonium reactor. Okay, and yeah, like I said, we should get this either on round 20 or just before it. Now these pink balloons are going to get quite far, so we're going to use Quincy's ability here to make him triple attack speed for a little time. So there we go, we did manage it, and there we go, resubmerge. And now just watch these balloons absolutely get destroyed. They will not get past this point anymore. Yellow balloons would have easily run past us, but now they can't even make it up to Quincy. And then if we get twin guns and airburst darts, it makes the plutonium reactor even stronger. Look at it go. Absolutely shredding the balloons. Alright, so there we go. They literally can't get past us anymore. It's hilarious. And camo balloons get decamoed when they go into this area. So overall, I think plutonium reactor is an amazing upgrade because it can pop leads and it can also decamo regular camo balloons. So that means camo leads don't stand a chance, which is probably one of the biggest threats in this game. Alright, so what should we get next? We do have some engineer monkeys, maybe that could be nice, but I think... Ooh, we need some Moab damage, because this guy really doesn't do too well against Moabs. So let's get up a plane, shall we? I think that'll be a good idea. Yeah. So we're getting a plane, and for Moab damage you might think getting a Spectre would be really good, and you'd be right. However, Spectres are really expensive, and so instead we're going to go for the top path, which is a little bit cheaper, and get ourselves a fighter plane, which can launch pretty strong missiles at the Moab and take them down with little effort. So we're going to get this fighter plane, which is going to help us out with the Moabs big time, and then see where we go from there. I think we will go for the, oh, what's it called? You know what, I'll remember it when I see it, but it's the next upgrade after fighter plane. Advanced Intel? No. Operation Dartstorm, oh, of course. Okay, but yeah, we will be going for that one. We'll also get Exploding Pineapple, as well as the spy plane, so that we can see camo balloons with our... did I ever call it a heli pilot at any point? I hope I didn't. But so we can see camo balloons with our monkey ace. So there you go. Camo power coming in handy there. And now we're going to be saving up for an Operation Dartstorm. So I'll see you guys when we can afford it. Alright, there's our Operation Dartstorm, only a few rounds later. So I believe we do have enough power to take out the Moab, but it's always best to be safe. So we're going to put a engineer monkey right up here, and you might think that's a terrible spot, but we're not doing it. Oh, excuse me. We're not doing it so that our engineer can pop a lot of balloons. Oh no, no. We're doing it so that we can get a massive area for our brand new sub to come in and kick some butt. So we're going to put a submarine right here. We're going to get advanced intel so that he can see all the way up there, where the sub can see, as well as all these turrets. And then we're going to start working on twin guns, airburst darts, triple guns, and finally, armor-piercing darts. That's it. That's it. I remembered. I don't remember too much, but that's one of the things I do. Alright. Then we get these triple guns, make our damage a lot higher, and we don't have advanced or armor-piercing darts for the Moab, but we don't seem to need it just yet. Our beautiful Operation Dartstorm seems to have us covered for now, and we don't have to worry too much about anything. Alright. Is there anything we haven't used yet in terms of all the towers we've picked for this Odyssey? I don't think we've used a... Have we used a Dartling gun? I think we have. We've used a Super Monkey. We haven't used a village, I don't think. So we'll use one of them, which is... It's not vital, but it is nice to have, just because it buffs all of the towers around it. Oh, and I forgot, I got the little elf that comes with it. So these are the type of things you can get out the trophy store, little cosmetic items like an elf that'll follow your villagers around, or little ducks that'll follow your submarines around. as you can see. It's pretty nice. So we'll get bigger radius jungle drums, make everybody attack a bit faster, and make the village a bit bigger. And then we'll get regrow blocker, or grow blocker. So regrow balloons cannot grow within the radius of this village. And then we'll get radar scanner, which allows everything to pop camo balloons permanently. And then I think we'll just leave it at that, because that's a pretty good upgrade. And in all honesty, I think right now that we've got our double guns, of course, I think right now we could probably beat Wave 60. Not gonna lie to you guys. So I will see you guys when we get there. And if there's any problems along the way, I'll let you know. Alright, we're up to Wave 60, and look how quickly this BFB gets taken down. Turned into Moabs already, Moabs are gone already, and everything loses to the plutonium reactor. So there we go, that's how you beat medium difficulty, what was this called? Mega Military? Mega Military, medium difficulty, that's how we've beaten it. We only placed each of these towers once, but it was mainly our boats, subs, planes, and engineer monkeys alongside Quincy that helped us get through this. So I hope this helps out and you can get your rewards. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, guys.